Jim, thanks for taking some time out of training to speak to us today. I just think it's now the dust settled a little bit after Tuesday night, probably a good time to talk about it now.
Well, not really, because it's Friday and we've got another game tomorrow, so like I've said to the lads, you can't affect the past, you can only affect the future, and all eyes now are on Northampton.
Yeah.
I want a response, we've been positive. It hurts our pride, we've had to take it on the chin. I've said all along, if you're doing well, you take the pats on the back. If you're not doing well, you've got to, look yourself in the mirror and, make sure that you're going out next time to make sure that you put it right and pull that pride back and give a bit of pride back to the fans, and the fans who travelled over, who can only apologise to, because I think it's 2007 since our last league victory against them, so obviously I've been involved in every one of them along the way, so place proper does me head in. But there you go, it's football. Southend probably say the same about us, but we'll certainly have our day with Accrington. But we've had a good couple of days, and we're all set now to have that reaction against Northampton, and hopefully we can get a positive result and everyone can move forward.
Well, there has been a little bit of criticism, and and I'm not sure whether you think that's fair or unfair. We're 13th in the league. We need another couple of wins, and we're safe again for another season. Is it fair to criticise?
Performance-wise, probably yeah. But you do get 1 or 2 games like that in the season. It's just probably worse because it's Accrington, it's local. It's our rivals, all that type of stuff. Not as many people travel to Plymouth as they did to Accrington, so probably generates a little bit more negativity. But it is what it is. We didn't mean to go out. It's not. I've got an honest bunch of players who give it their all, but on that occasion they just fell short. But as you say, overall we're 13th in the league. Loads to play for, loads of points to play for. If we win Saturday against Northampton, we reach our first target, which was 50 points, which is great.
Yeah.
And then the next target to try and improve on last season, which was 56 points, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, we're 2 wins away from that. But, I've had to make big cutbacks over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So, coming into this season, with the squad that the players that we released, and having to bring in a couple of, untried and tested players and a couple of little gambles here and there, thankfully they've relatively paid off for us. And they're honest lads, and they're all willing to work hard and run through a brick wall and give it their all for the club, and that's positive. We've started bright, we've had some good performances, we've had some fantastic results. The cup games against Wolves and Newcastle were great, but it's tough times.
There was a little matter of 4-1 last week as well, wasn't there?
Newport, the Chesterfield game, Southend at home and away, Newport away, Burton Albion away. We've had some great results, but we've had some crap ones as well, but that's life, innit?
Yeah.
I know only too well when Everton played Liverpool the other week. We've got absolutely battered by Liverpool, and it hurts, but once you wake up the next day, it's another day, and you've got to look forward, you can't look back. You've got to reflect and review on it, but there's no use mentioning it now. It's gone. I've told the lads that. It's put to bed. There's nothing we can do about it, but I want the response. But we are what we are, we know that. As I say, the best thing I've got is an honest bunch of lads.
Yeah.
We've given it their all, and no one will work harder than me and Ken to make sure that we do what we can to give the lads the best possible chance going out.
Well, you just said to me today that you've done double training today in preparation for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what's the mood like?
It's all right. Again, sometimes when you're on a Friday we don't really do a double session, but we changed it round. We don't usually do 5 days training leading up to a game either, which we did after the Plymouth game. Fridays usually short, sharp sessions, but today we've done a double day. We've had a light lunch, so they've just got themselves off now. But the words I've left with them is that I want a response, I want a reaction. Yeah. And they owe that to themselves, to me, to Ken, to the backroom staff, and probably most of all to the fans. So that's what we're hoping to do.
And how important is it that the fans come out and back you tomorrow?
Massively, yeah, massively. We're in a bit of a period, certainly since I've took the manager's job. It's been a little bit difficult circumstances, losing players, budget cuts, not just on the field, off the field, backroom staff, staff within the Globe Arena, overnight stays. But like I say all along, there's an honest chairman and an honest bunch of directors who give their all. You know, they're always exploring avenues where we can improve financially, how we can improve the youth system, the training facilities. Year on year, we've done that. You know, we're not the ready-made club that we want to be, but we're certainly going in the right direction. You know, the chairman and I get on very well. We've got a great relationship with him. He gives it his all for me. He's ambitious. You know, there's quite a few things going on now in the pipeline that hopefully that will progress our club. But you can't expect him to just keep bankrolling it and throwing his own money at it. You know, it's a bigger picture than that. So he gives me what he can.
I understand he's been down today watching training.
He has. He's been here today, and he come down this afternoon to watch us train. So it's great. It's great that, you know, he's up here. It's you know, a lot of chairmen don't even take an interest from the day to day. They just turn up on match day probably for the hospitality and things like that, and enjoy the game. But you know, that shows what type of person he is. He's dedicated. He wants to do well. He wants to improve the club. But you know, you put the money he's put in, it comes to a stage where it can't go on, and we're exploring other avenues which hopefully will be positive in the future and improve us on and off the pitch, and we can all grow together and we can all enjoy growing as a club together. But with regards to myself, I try and bend them as much as I can to get as much as I can out of them, because I always want more, I always want to be better, you know, and I know where I can't. So we are what we are. We are one of the smallest clubs in it. We've got one of the smallest budgets. We're not blessed with other little bits and pieces that other clubs have got, but it goes hand in hand with the supporters, which you're getting back to what you said about how important it is that they get behind us. I've always had a great relationship with them, as a player and as a manager. You know, the hardcore group that we've got are fantastic, and I'd back them against any other club. You know, they get behind the team, they're realistic. You know, you get your 99.9% that you'd always get your odd little slice to, you know, doom and gloom, and doesn't matter if you're winning or losing, they just find it at having a go. But that's football, that's life.
Very vocal, those ones, though, aren't they?
I'm not getting involved, Mark. No. You know, it is what it is. But you know, we're trying our best under difficult circumstances. It's not a case of over the years just dropping a player here or a player there. You know, when I took over and I got that spreadsheet of the squad and the wages and things like that, and I was in amongst all that, you know, when I'd been here 9 years or whatever, you know, and I'm looking at it and thinking it's not right, it's not the way to do it. But we've improved the squad, in my opinion, and we've done it at a less you know, financially less. So, but getting back to what you're saying about the fans, as I say, they're a great group. There's more and more travel away. They get behind us at home. You know, we've improved it with regards to the feel of the place, even little things like painting the barriers and putting flags up, you know, over on the home end there, and just to try and give it that little bit more personality, and it's a little bit more ours.
Last Tuesday and the Saturday before, it felt fantastic to be here.
They did, and when they get up and when they are singing or we score a goal and things like that, it's a fantastic noise and a fantastic feeling. That second goal from the break, from the corner against Southend, where Bealey went through and little Jack put it in, you know, that was as good as the Wolves goal for me. The noise, the atmosphere, and that's what it's all about. That's what kids want to come and watch and be a part of and be involved in. You know, I do say, yeah, it is great and the people who back us are great, but I've said it all along, ultimately it's the community football club. You know, and you can't go out into the street and get them in a headlock and drag them in, but we do need more, because it goes hand in hand. You know, we have got one of the lowest average attendances in the league, and that's our biggest income, bums on seats. And when you don't get it, it's, you know, if you're dipping 200-300 below your average attendance or what you budget for, well, something's got to give somewhere, hasn't it? So it goes hand in hand. So every home game I'm looking now, I'm trying to count and give a rough estimate of how many are here, just to see that, you know, we're reaching our levels. But there's loads to be positive about. The hospitality, you know, I come up here quite a lot of times to name the team, and it's been half empty. Or should I say half full. You know, it's been the sectioned off, you know, sponsors lounges upstairs, you know, the boxes upstairs, the community side of things. You know, we're moving in the right direction, but it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and I'm glad I'm part of it. I'm glad to play me part in it as well. And overall, As you said previously, we're 13th in the league. You know, we're not bad. We're not in a bad position. There's a lot of football to play. We could go either way. You could get sucked even further into a relegation battle, or a win Saturday and you're 12 points ahead of Northampton with 8 to play. So, you know, you may be looking at maybe putting that talk of relegation to, or getting dragged into the bottom 2 to bed with 8 games to play. So then what you're hoping then is the bottom teams can take points off the top teams, so you can claw them back and get further up the field. So it is what it is. It's a tight league, but I'd rather be in our position than Torquay's position and Northampton's position.
Jim, I think it's fair to say if it was all down to spirit and endeavour, I think we'd be in the playoffs. You know, I think the vast majority of fans know the circumstances, know what a great job we are doing.
Alex Ferguson used to get stick for wrong teams or wrong substitutions or signings or whatever. I know it's the nature of the game. If we're doing well, the players get the pat on the back. If we get beat, the manager hasn't got a clue. It's the way life is. It doesn't bother me. I've got to get, you know, I'm big enough and strong enough to take it. And
well, let's hope the players are getting a pat on the back tomorrow.
Well, that's what we want. And I said that to him today in the team meeting when we picked the team. The team's picked, all the work's done, all the set plays are done. We concentrated on that this morning, set plays against, which has been a bit of Achilles heel of ours. We've worked on that in depth today. What to expect from Northampton. We've worked on set plays for, which, you know, we're doing quite well with. And then we've had lunch and we've gone out this afternoon and we've done a little bit with regards to our shape and who's playing. Again, what to expect of them, their strengths, their weaknesses, where we can hurt them, how we want to play. If the wind gets up, if the rain comes down, you try and cover every base. You put a lot of hard work into it. And as I say, I've left them now with, I want to be giving you a pat on the back at 10 to 5 tomorrow night, and hopefully we can all finish the week on a positive, all have a good weekend, and then look forward to going to the top of the league, or whatever they are, second in the league, Chesterfield on Tuesday for another tough challenge. You know, every challenge comes around and you give it your best shot, and that's all we can do.
One game at a time, Jim. Next one's tomorrow.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.